to fund the National Population Housing Census 2024. This one is the first of its kind. The previous one of 2014, government funded 75%. Advent Pattern has funded 25%. So now we are becoming self-sustaining. And this shows the interest, strong interest and commitment government of Uganda has in evidence-based planning and policy management. And I want to thank you, Your Excellency, for your commitment. I always tell people that you are the biggest user of statistics in Uganda. You also contributed significantly in enriching the census questionnaire. I remember when we came to meet you with the board, you gave us strong insights on how to capture some difficult situations. And we don't take that guidance for granted. I want to assure you that we incorporated all your ideas, and I think we shall get what we want. So back to presentation. We do census benchmark statistical data to inform national development planning. The census we are going to undertake will help us evaluate the performance of NDP3, which will end next financial year. It will also give us baseline data for National Development Plan 4 that is now under development. It will also provide the data as baseline for result framework, so that now the implementation of the development plan will be based on the foundation of data. The one almost ending that started 2020-21 used data which was 6 years old. We had done census in 2014, so some things had changed and we could not establish properly. But this one is timed very well. The data from census also will help us evaluate the performance of PDM, which is now a flagship development program that's supposed to bring all citizens into monetary economy. So it will help us understand whether the implementation is in place or not, or we need to adjust and fine-tune its implementation. In addition, the data from census will help us in measuring development progress in regional and continental development frameworks. We have East African Community 2020. We have Africa Agenda 2063, and especially the free trade, the African Continental Free Trade Area that's about to start, as well as the global framework, notably Sustainable Development Goals. We are currently not reporting on all the indicators. We hope after this census, we shall be able to report on 201 indicators that are applicable to Uganda. Now, we've heard of the history of the census. This is the map, the heat map that shows us how the population has been growing. We have not indicated 1911 because we wanted to show we would have switched, but this is okay. Your Excellency, remember the 8 which you participated in. That time they were only counting people. Actually, they were counting whether you are Ugandan or non-Ugandan. Then there was another quick one that was conducted in 1959, but we don't have specific records for it. We can see now, the ones in blue shows the actual population count, then the red are the projections. We use a number of variables to project We look at the birth rates, death rates, net migration, and a project. So from 2014, we expect to be 46.2 million as of now. So 2024, we shall establish exactly the number. I want to say that this time, we are working closely with United Nations systems, and we don't expect to get another heated debate when we publish the census data and further projections. Because you remember, Excellency, last year we had a very big exchange where World Bank was using some unknown data from UN Population Division that we challenged. And I want to call upon development partners to please use official data from the National Statistics Office going forward. So this census is the 11th that Uganda is conducting, and the first paperless census. We shall not be moving with the paper questionnaire. Shall be using computer-assisted devices, popularly known as tablets, that the enumerators will be using to interview the respondents. And it is our vision, our dream, that in the future, Ugandans should be able to enumerate themselves. If they learn and master all of the questions. But as of now, it is difficult because they may not, when we say a household, they may think we are talking of a family. But the definition of household is different. And we shall not have enough education programs to ensure that. But maybe I can experiment it with my ministers, cabinet ministers, MPs, and we see whether they can report proper, and the government workers. So this one we had said. This is the third census that's being conducted by Uganda Bureau of Statistics. The first one was in 2002. The second was 2014, and this one. But this one is unique because we have liberalized the census. We are no longer hiding the statistical offices to do the census alone. We have worked together with other government agencies. You've had the members who are in advisory committee. The notable one is National Identification and Registration Authority, because we know they need the data from statistics to know how many people to register and to know the age composition. We also know that the law requires Electoral Commission to use census data to demarcate constituencies. And we are closely working with the Electoral Commission also. We are also working together, of course, with our parent ministry and other major users of census, because we know users are the ones who determine what should be produced. The process. Your Excellency, we have 3 steps to successfully complete the census. The first one is pre-enumeration. We have done a lot of work. We've done census planning, census mapping. We are now at 86.5% of the whole country. And the mapping we are doing is completely geo-referenced. We can now know where the household that's been mapped is, instead of area mapping that we are only getting boundaries without knowing how many households are in the area, in the administrative area that we are going to enumerate. We conducted We developed the instruments. Those are the questionnaires. We have three questionnaires. One is the household questionnaire that will be administered to households. The other one is a community questionnaire, where we shall get the services, facilities that the communities benefit from. And this is very important because we shall know how close or how far a given community is to a service center, like education, health, water source, clean water source, not any water, kind of roads we have near that community, and other cultural services. So we have done those questionnaires. The third is the institutional questionnaire. This one is a questionnaire that will be administered to institutions like barracks. And this one, it is the owners of barracks that will enumerate themselves. Police, prison, UPDF. And also the higher education that may be schooling that time. But we expect, Your Excellency, that the Ministry of Education will cause a holiday so that we can enumerate all of these learners at home and also participate in enumerating. Because given the devices we are using, we need some sort of high level sophistication of training. We've also initiated procurement of ICT equipment that will help us in the digital census. These are tablets and other data processing and storage servers. We have also put in place the publicity and advocacy strategy, and we have the committee headed by Honorable Dr. Wadiomusi. So you can see we are now working as one person and so forth. The second step is the actual census enumeration. And I will be demonstrating later what we shall be doing. We shall train, do publicity. We have finished pilot census. And what will remain is to recruit enumerators, train them, and deploy also these ICT equipments. And the actual count, where we're going to be counting people and their characteristics. The characteristics include education status, health status, employment status, kind of economic activity. This one was a very big thing when we met you, Your Excellency, and we have now found how to address that. We shall look at the dwelling houses by type and the facilities serving communities. And finally, we shall do data processing, quality assurance, dissemination, authorization of tablets post-census. These tablets, Your Excellency, we are procuring 120. We shall not keep them. We are leaving in each parish 3 tablets to strengthen collection of community data for PDM. So we shall not be getting now a problem. We shall also give some tablets to the Electoral Commission. We are buying 2 types. There are some which are very strong that can be used to identify voters at the voting period. So we have post-census utilization of these equipments, Your Excellency. And therefore, although the government has invested a lot of resources, money, equivalent to 137 billion, they will be used by a number of agencies. They will not be coming to ask for additional resources. The only additional resources if they become fewer. I think I've talked about these. These are the stages. We have talked about the main outputs in census enumeration. We shall have total population of the country. Shall have population distribution by sex, age, tribe, religion, and region. And we shall capture socio-economic status of the population, level of education, quality health, if it exists, employment, unemployment, economic activity, and so forth. There are so many. Total number of dwelling houses and by type, if they are grass thatched, iron sheets, tiles, is it mud and water, are they bricks, and so forth. And whether they have toilets inside, all of those we shall capture. And then the other social and economic facilities in the community. Now we want to demonstrate the digital enumeration. I hope my IT team are available. So when a numerator gets the tablet, this one is moving very fast. You're moving very fast for some of us. Okay. Here, an enumerator, let's say, so we know where it is. Now this is the household questionnaire. There are refusals. If they refuse, they report. And then, of course, every member of the population is supposed to comply. Your Excellency, there are rules that if you don't participate, if you say no, one of the risks that the chairman talked about are some carrots that hide, I will say we can't be enumerated. Those ones, we shall use the force of law to make them comply. But that is the last option, that's the last. We don't want to force people to participate in we don't want to force them. We shall use a persuasive method. One of it is sensitization that we have started today. That counting people does not mean that when you are counted, you die. Because I was telling them I have been counted for some years. Your Excellency, I have been counted from 58. You are still around. So I think you'll be one of our major advocates. That when they count you, you in fact live longer. Because government will provide you with the required services. But if you hide, then you will be left alone. You will be left behind. So in fact, my counter argument is that being counted makes you live longer because you will know where you are. Now we know even the location by digital. If there is a lockdown, services can be dropped, even using the drones, because we know where the people are and we shall have known their economic status. So we urge you, all Ugandans and those non-Ugandans who will be in Uganda, to embrace the census. Now, after counting, we do other post-enumeration activities. The most important is to check the quality of the data. We do quality assurance. We undertake post-enumeration surveys to ensure that the original count was complete. Then I talked about utilization of tablets. Dissemination, we shall be disseminating the georeference database, thematic reports, paper, and other products. The census we are undertaking is a de facto enumeration, meaning you will be counted where you stayed on the census night. Some people are telling me, are these 2 days or 2 nights or what? No, it is 1 night, 9th and 10th. A night has 2 days. Your Excellency, we took your guidance. Europeans think when it becomes 12, it is now in the morning. Here we are still sleeping. So we are taking it as a night. The morning is very early in the morning, when we have woken up at 6:30. So any individual, regardless of your nationality, who will stay in Uganda on the census night of 9th and 10th May, it will be Thursday, he will be counted. Whether you leave Uganda at 6:30 on the 10th, we shall count you. We shall ask who stayed in this household on the night of 9th, 10th. If you come back to Uganda in the morning of 10th, on Friday morning, we shall not count you, because you will not have been captured at the census night. And I think I'm arguing with my experts that we should have a reference point at midnight, so that we don't have confusion. Now, if you stay in Uganda and leave, or you go to bar and you don't find any, they don't come to count you, don't say we are not counted. Anybody able to answer the question will answer who stayed in Uganda on census night, even on 10th day. We shall do 10 today. We have estimated that we shall take 10 days to complete. Now, a numerator will be having the other map I have shown you, that will be showing him where he is and the number of households remaining. And also, the supervisor will be checking online whether they have completed. We have special areas, Your Excellency, very complicated ones. Greater Kampala Metropolitan. Many people don't stay a night in Kampala, but during the day they're in Kampala, and they have been having problems with the Kampala Authority. So we want to have the questionnaire have inbuilt those. We shall be capturing those who were in Kampala the previous day prior to census, so that we can produce for them the day population of Kampala. Diplomatic missions, of course, we count them because they were in Uganda that night. Uganda, the diplomatic missions abroad will not be counted, so it compensates. We shall count the refugee settlements. We have been counting them, but this time, we want also to get their socio-economic characteristics. Before, we are just getting the head count to know how many refugees are here, but we also want to know the characteristics so that we can understand their well-being. Then the floating population. Floating population are these who are not in the house, in the dwelling houses. The drivers in transit. The people who are in bars and discos, because Uganda economy thrives at night. They will be counted where they stayed. So let them not say, but they never came to my home. We were counted where you were. Then the institutional population, as I said. Yes, this is what I have been talking about, the automation. The other last picture is showing you that we shall be policing what's happening in the field from the center. And we are going to develop sufficient capacity to do that. We're also going to increase the highway, the data highway, that will be transmitting the data to the center. But we also have a backup, a disaster recovery site, just in case the data gets compromised at the center, to be kept somewhere. So we shall be getting them in both places. And this is what I've been talking about, the timelines. Today is the 12th. Now the hard work starts. We have been just there. And now that we have told the country it is 10th, we shall not sleep until when we deliver a successful census, and we are requesting all Ugandans to be part and a parcel of this exercise. I've talked about reference night, enumeration from 10th May. Your Excellency, I want to thank you for having allowed to declare the first day of enumeration a public holiday. Which means we shall ask enumerators to work overtime to ensure that people are found at home on Friday. And we count as many people as possible. Then later on, we shall continue up to 20th. I talked of census outputs for interest of time. Now this is our roadmap after the census. In June 2024, that will be 1 month. We shall give the country preliminary results, knowing the population of Uganda, the population per each district, the sex distribution, and so forth. Then in September, the provisional results, which go down to the enumeration areas and can be transformed into village, parish, and this will be most important for PDM. Then the final results that when you have combined the other quality assurance, post-enumeration will be in December. So this is the record time, Your Excellency, because I've been taking over 2 to 3 years to reach the final product. But now because of the electronic devices, we have cut so many steps. Getting paper, then you call people, they do data entry, then the mistakes have been done. Those ones will be done at the field work. So by the end of next calendar year, we shall have given the country all the results and the products are reports, the oral charts, the dashboards. We shall have dashboards at the sub-county and parish so that they know their people. And the chairman told you that we have the committees at our level government, even at the village. They will be running their census. But we shall be careful because we know they may add some number. They know my minister, Honorable Matia, uses population to give them allocation. So we shall be keen to understand whether they have added some population. So we shall have profiles and maps and atlases. One of the important aspects we shall get in the output is to know the life expectancy of Ugandan and other indicators. So this is the roadmap, the journey we are moving. I don't know, where are we? I think we are in the third milestone, waiting for the census and then the releasing of the results. This one, the chairman talked about it, I will not repeat. The budget, I talked about it, how we approved the cabinet memo. The structures, I've talked about them. Now, at this point, I want to take opportunity to recognize my management team that we have worked together up to this time. Can you, all of you, stand up? UBOS management. Your Excellency, why I'm telling them to stand up is continue standing is telling them that the hard work has begun. And they should not sleep. If we don't deliver census, I should not be hanged around with those people. So we need to be cohesive and generate census. Thank you very much. You sit. Then down, we talked about what we have done so far. We have analyzed the tools. We have mapped 85.6%. As I said, the 14.4% that is remaining are largely cities. We know that cities develop very fast. If we map them early, by the time of the enumeration, we'll find that other homesteads and settlements have come. So we have deliberately gone to map cities last. And Kampala will be mapped last. Because the last census, we would find the new settlements when we had not mapped them. But this time now, we want to be nearer. If there is a new one, it will be a household that would have been inserted in a new settlement. Tablets. Conclusions. These are acknowledgements. I want to thank the government of Uganda for approving the undertaking of Census 2024. Better late than never. The chairman told you that there are rounds of census. We are on the last year. We digressed from 1980. We used to do, actually before that, it was 1658, 69, 1980. Then we did 91. From that time, instead of doing 2001, we did 2002. Then we did 2014. You see, we are now moving to the brink like failed states, Somalia, which doesn't do. So I think as we do this census, we start planning for census of 2030, what? That one will be a debate, but the planning starts immediately we finish census. So we are appreciating you for allocating for this financial year only 320.9 billion shillings. That will complete the remaining activities. Prior years, 2 years, we've used 11 billion for mapping and others. So of the 320, we expect maybe the development partners now that we have a deficit of 13 billion. They should stand up to be counted. And then we say we are there. But this is 98% of what we want, which is a very big improvement, Your Excellency. The partners, they have continued the technical support, notably UNFPA for spearheading the efforts. Our gratitude go to ministry, department, and agencies, local governments, private sector. I want to add here that we have gone a step further and engaged the cultural institutions. We are in this together with the Uganda Kingdom, and they have pledged that they support census. They have even provided the infrastructure. They are from Batongore onwards to help us. They are helping us in mapping. We are engaging the Bunyoro Kingdom. We have signed an MOU with them, and they are developing a strategic plan. We shall work with them. Busoga has come on board, so Your Excellency, we are using all. Because we know once the cultural institutions are in and religious leaders, then we shall all move together. We want to appreciate the public for their continuous support. We have not been let down. Even during COVID, Your Excellency, we continued working. And they gave us information which helped in shaping the monetary and economic policy. And we want to call upon them to support this census going forward. Our appeal to the public is that they should be champions of the census. They should be counted during the enumeration period from 10th. They should give us usual cooperation, and they should use the census findings for evidence-based planning, decision-making, and monitoring government. Because we know if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. The corollary is you cannot manage what you can't measure. So the public, including government, should use census findings to do that management. Thank you for listening. I forgot my country.